Hello. I'm Super Smash Bros. 4 Larry. Mario Kart 8 Larry felt so sorry for the reason that he got grounded for not being a jerk at June 5th. Anyways, here's the population growth extended. In 5 million BC, the population is 1. In 4,500,000 BC, the population was 10. In 4 million BC, the population was 100. In 3,500,000 BC, the population was 1,000. In 3 million BC, the population is 10,000. In 2,500,000 BC, the population is 20,000. In 2,000,000 BC, the population is 60,000. At -1 million. Whoa, -1 million is also called 1 million BC, whoops. Let's try again. In 1 million BC, the population is 125,000. In 300,000 BC, the population is 1 million. In 200,000 BC, the population is 1,250,000. In 200,000 BC, the population is 1,500,000. In 100,000 BC, the population is 2 million. In 90,000 BC, the population is 2,100,000. In 80,000 BC, the population is 2,200,000. In 70,000 BC, the population is 2,300,000. In 60,000 BC, the population is 2,400,000. In 50,000 BC, the population is 2,600,000. In 40,000 BC, the population is 2,600,000. In 30,000 BC, the population is 3 million. In 25,000 BC, the population is 3,340,000. In 20,000 BC, the population is 3,700,000. In 10,000 BC, the population is 4 million. In 8,000 BC, the population is 4,500,000. In 5,000 BC, the population is 5 million. In 4,000 BC, the population is 7 million. In 3,000 BC, the population is 14 million. In 2000 BC, the population was 27 million. In 1600 BC, the population was 36 million. In 1000 BC, the population was 50 million. In 800 BC, the population was 68 million. In 500 BC, the population was 100 million. In 400 BC, the population was 123 million. In 200 BC, the population was 150 million. In 1 BC. Oops, I meant in 1 AD, the population was 170 million. In 14 AD, the population was 171 million. In 200 AD, 350 AD, in 400 AD, the population was 190 million. In 500 AD, the population was 195 million. In 600 AD, the population was 200 million. In 700 AD, the population was 210 million. In 800 AD, the population was 220 million. In 900 AD, the population was 242 million. In 1000, the population was 265 million. In 1100, the population was 320 million. In 1200, 1250, and 1300, the population was 360 million. In 1340, the population was 370 million. In 1400, the population decreased to 350 million. In 1500, the population was 425 million. In 1600, the population was 545 million. In 1700, the population was 610 million. In 1750, the population was 720 million. In 1800, the population was 900 million. In 1804, the population reaches 1 billion. In 1850, the population was 1,200 million. In 1875, the population was 1,325 million. In 1900, the population was 1,625 million. In 1920, the population was 1,813 million. In 1925, the population was 1,898 million. In 1927, the population reached 2 billion. In 1930, the population was 2,100 million. In 1940, the population was 2,213 million. In 1950, the population was 2,516 million. In 1955, the population was 2,760 million. In 1960, the population was 3,020 million. In 1965, the population was 3,336 million. In 1970, the population was 3,698 million. In 1974, the population reached 4 billion. In 1975, the population was 4,079,000,000. In 1980, the population was 4,448,000,000. In 1985, the population was 4,851,000,000. In 1987, the population reached 5 billion. In 1990, the population was 5,292,000,000. In 1995, the population was 5,761,000,000. In 1999, the population reached 6 billion. In 2000, the population was 6,272,000,000. In 2005, the population was 6,464,750,000. In 2010, the population was 6,843,522,711. In 2011, the population reached 25. Whoops. Let's try again. In 2011, the population reached 47 billion. In 2000, reached 6,017. Whoops. Let's try again. In 2000, reached 617. The population was 7,400,000,000. And in 2017, the population was 7,500,000,000. I predict that the population is going to reach 8 billion in 2025, 9 billion in 2043, 10 billion in 2083, and 11 billion in 2100. Anyways, that's the population growth from 5 million BC to 2017 AD and all the way up to 2100 AD. Oh, and part 10 for 80K will be looming again after ended the comments from the verse users. Oh, and part 10 comes out after the post 10s.